The following BLTV program is brought to you by O'Flaherty Law. Please enjoy.
Hi, my name is Heather Jones. I'm a Wisconsin family law attorney with O'Flaherty Law, and today we're going to do a how-to video on filling out a form you might see quite a bit if you have children with somebody and can't quite get along in regard to money issues. It's the income and expense statement, otherwise known as Form FA-4138V. This video is a how-to video on filling out the form. It is for educational purposes only and is not meant to be nor should be a substitute for legal advice. If you are having a great deal of issues with your former partner and are concerned about whether or not your legal needs are being met, it is strongly suggested that you meet with an experienced Wisconsin family law attorney to help you reach your goals. With that in mind, we will just go ahead and jump into the how-to video. There are some instructions given at the left side of the form, but the how-to video is to assist you in getting it filled out correctly the first time so that you don't waste time in your legal matter. So jumping right into it, if this form is meant for people who've been in a variety of family court cases to use, so there's going to be some doubling up. You could be joint petitioners if you and your spouse jointly petitioned for divorce, or if it was a contested divorce or a paternity action, you would be petitioner and respondent. The best thing to do if you are having post-judgment money issues with the other parent is to have a copy of your latest court order sitting next to you when you are filling out any documents for any sort of post-judgment relief or change. So ideally, you would have a copy of the court order that orders you or the other person to pay X amount of money every month in child support, and perhaps also addresses things like custody, physical placement, and visitation. Just have it next to you and you can refer to that. It'll make things a lot easier for you. And the caption on that document should identify who's who in the case. Then moving down, you're staying in the same county. You can't jump around all over the state. You need to stay in front of the same county that you got the order from. And you will fill out the caption with each person in their proper place. You don't need to circle the title or anything. Just look at the order, see where you're listed on there, see where the other person is listed on there, and fill this out in conformity with the order. This top right-hand section, hopefully you know by now, that is the clerk of court's area. Don't go in there. It belongs to the clerk of court. That's where they stamp the document and keep everything flowing smoothly through the system. Then you'll see the title of the document, the income and expense statement, and you'll see something maybe a little bit new to you. Obviously, there's an original case number. It'll be on your order. You'll put it in here because this is a form you use post-judgment, so you should already have case numbers assigned to you. This one sort of throws people once in a while, the IV-D kids case number. So when you have a child support action in a state, you'll see this. And what it is, it's the child support case number. The IV-D actually stands for Title IV, subsection D of the Social Security Act, which is the Child Support Enforcement Act. So that's where that comes from. And you should have the case number handy, and if you don't, just leave it blank until you find it out. Don't try to figure anything out unless you have some documentation to back it up. So that will take care of the caption. Now, before we get into filling out this statement, a quick word about what this statement is for. So if there's going to be a requested change in child support, the court can't operate in a vacuum. The court needs to know what each party's expenses and income are every month, among other factors, to determine the properly applied statutory formula, depending on the number of kids, gross monthly income, those types of things. So if anytime post-judgment somebody's asking for a money change, you're going to need to fill one of these out and give it to the court. And if you don't, you're going to waste a lot of time because the court's going to be like, okay, come back in a month after you filed your income and expense statement because I can't make decisions in a vacuum. I need facts. I need information. That's what the income and expense statement helps to provide. And you're warned. I mean, the judge might give you a break, but look at this warning before you even start. Failure by either party to complete and file this form as required will authorize the court to accept the statement of the other party as the basis for its decisions. Deliberate failure to provide complete disclosure is a crime. Attach additional pages if space is not sufficient. Throughout this document, they have very narrow spaces. They have short lines. Don't alter the document. If you can't fit information in the space they give you for it in the form, put it on a separate sheet of paper and attach it supplementing the form. You can take as many as you like. Just make it clear and concise and easily referred to so that you're not irritating anyone by having 20 random pieces of paper that nobody can tell what you're talking about on it. So, paragraph 1, your proof of income. Attach a statement reflecting income earned to date for the current year and attach your most recent W-2. That should go without saying, and your employer should be able to provide you with a statement reflecting income, or you can just calculate your pay stubs, be ready to provide your pay stubs reflecting your income earned to date for the current year. Don't just throw a number out there, be able to prove it. Second, general information, your name, your address, city, state, zip, and your daytime phone number. 3, your employer information, their contact information. Get that out of the way. So they probably already know where you work, but if you've switched jobs, you're going to need to update. So just put your most recent employer in there and how to get in touch with them. 4, current members of your household. Enter the name and relationship of all people who are actually living in your household at this time. Check yes or no to identify if they contribute to payment of household expenses. If you've remarried, if you have a live-in girlfriend or boyfriend, if you moved in with your parents. Not that unusual, especially if you've gone through a rough divorce. You need to list who they are and whether or not they help cover bills. And if there's more than 4 people, you can go ahead and attach it on a separate sheet of paper. Next, the court wants to know about your monthly income. So income from wages or salary is received, check 1, weekly, monthly, every other week, or twice a month. To calculate gross or monthly gross income, use the multiplier shown. So if you get paid weekly, they want you to multiply your weekly income by 4.33. Twice a month, multiply semi-monthly income by 2. So if you get $700 twice a month, you multiply it by 2, comes out $1,400. You'll see up here a space again for your name and the name of the other party. Go ahead and jot it down. We want to try and keep everything as organized as possible and make sure that if a page goes missing temporarily when it's located, you can find out who it goes to. So just, again, put the names of the parties at the top left-hand corner of the form. So one, they'll say what's your gross monthly income. That's your income before taxes and deductions from your salary and wages, including commissions, allowances, and overtime. Plug in the number. Any pension, retirement, or Social Security received every month. Any disability, unemployment insurance, or public assistance funds received. Just because it's public assistance doesn't mean that you can leave it off your monthly income. Interest and dividends received from any investments. Any child support and maintenance or spousal support that you receive. Any rental payments received from property you rent to others. Any bonuses you've gotten at work, and any other source of income, but you do need to specify. So they want you to add up all those numbers and plug it in here. So there's your income. Now they want to know what kind of deductions you're claiming every month. So your number of tax exemptions claimed, how much money is being withheld every month for federal and state income tax, Social Security, and Medicare. What are you paying every month for medical insurance? Not just for yourself, but if you've been ordered to pay medical insurance for the children, be sure to add that number in there so that the court knows that you're paying for the medical insurance. Any other insurance, life, disability, etc. If you're paying union or any other dues, that's a deduction. If you are putting money into retirement pension or a deferred compensation fund, that's a deduction. If you are paying child support or spousal support, that's a deduction. And then any other deduction that wasn't listed there, you need to make sure you get those numbers in there so that the court has a clear picture of what's being taken out of your check every month. So you take your deductions, the total, subtract them from the total in this line, and you'll come up with a number here for the court to look at. So total monthly deductions subtracted from total gross income that's on this line goes in this number here, or this line here. Gosh, I'm even confused by it. It's a little heavy. So now that the court knows what's coming in and what has to go out every month, we'll get to expenses. Rent, mortgage, property taxes, home or rent insurance. That all can go together in here. So if you're paying a mortgage, property taxes, and you pay for home insurance, that's a bulk number there. What do you spend on food, utilities, telephone, cable, satellite, and internet? Any kind of insurance that you didn't list, any kind of insurance that's not deducted that you make an independent payment to? Your car payment, your car expenses, or any transportation expenses other than driving your car to and from work. Medical, dental, and prescription drug expenses that are not covered by insurance. Don't forget these numbers, they're important numbers. Anything you spend on child care. Any extra any child support or spousal support payments that are not made through automatic withdrawal from your paycheck every month. A lot of the time, people just have child support automatically deducted from their payroll check. But if you're not doing that, if you're writing a check every month for child support or spousal support or both, make sure you put it in this block here. Then they give you a small space for other expenses. I don't know if that's enough. You might want to just type in "see attached" and put them on another sheet of paper, maybe with a brief explanation. Then the court wants to know about other monthly installment payments. So let's say you have a second property. Say during your former marriage, you and the ex bought a summer cottage up north. The agreement was that your ex would get the marital home, you'd rent an apartment, and take over the mortgage on the summer cottage, and they could use it maybe 2 weeks out of the year. Something like that. Any toys that you have, RV, boat, ATV, what kind of credit card payments you're making every month, any kind of other court-ordered obligation that have, other than child support or spousal support, anything that's court ordered, you would put that number in here. Student loans, most people have them. And any other personal loans, and then again, they've got a blank spot for other here. You will total this all up. Lines 1 through 18, so all the way back up to your rent and mortgage payments. That's your monthly expenses. And maybe do it on a blank sheet of paper first while you're looking at this form so that you're absolutely certain of the numbers and everything's adding up the way it should. You don't want to file this with, say, your expenses being $500 a month lower than they actually are. That's going to hurt you in the long run. So we're to the final page. Go ahead and once again put the names of both parties on the upper left-hand corner. We're on paragraph 7. Check one box. I do or do not have assets, vehicles, real estate, personal property, stocks, retirement accounts, etc. with a total fair market value of $10,000 or more at this time. Disclose it, because if you don't, the court's going to be pretty ticked off. And it's pretty easy to find assets with a fair market value of $10,000 or more. And then 8, paragraph 8, the final paragraph, is your declaration. I declare under the penalty of perjury that the above, including all attachments, are complete, true, and correct. And then you'll sign, date, the signature block, give your contact information. They only put the state bar number down there in case an attorney wants to use this form. Just remember, when you declare something under the penalty of perjury, and they warned you before you even filled out the form, it's not going to go well for you if you deliberately conceal any financial information in your income and expense statement that you're filing with the court. So check it once, check it twice. Be very, very certain about the information you're giving them, not only for your protection, but so that you don't get accused of perjuring yourself when you're trying to get custody adjusted. And once again, child support adjusted. And once again, don't modify the form. Use a separate sheet of paper. You can supplement all you like, but don't make any changes to the form. It's been constructed with very specific parameters in mind to make it acceptable to both the clerk of courts and the state e-file system. So that is a how-to video on how to fill out Form FA-4138V, the post-judgment income and expense statement. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and leave them below the video. And check back in. We post new legal content on a regular basis. And we wish you the very best of luck with your legal matter. Hope everything turns out great for you. And thank you again.
Hi again, this is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law. I hope you enjoyed the video and podcast. If you did, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to our channel. If you need legal help in this or any other area of law, please don't hesitate to reach out to schedule a consultation. Most consultations are free and can be conducted remotely if you'd like. You can email us, book online, or call us at 414-253-2080. That's 414-253-2080. We have many locations for your convenience and we serve all of Wisconsin. Thanks again for watching.